Each year Governor Abbott has been in office, Texas has been a #1 state for business in America. The $2.4 trillion Texas economy is the 8th largest among the nations of the world. And as a top state for exports, Texas Made has never been a more powerful global brand, with small businesses accounting for nearly 93% of all exporting businesses. Under Governor Abbott's leadership, a record number of Texans are employed, and our young, skilled, diverse, and growing labor force is more than 15 million strong. Not to mention, nearly half of those working Texans are employed by small business owners. His vision is unique, not dictating policy or burdening businesses with overregulation, but creating an environment where communities, industries, and businesses can lead the way to growth and prosperity for all hardworking Texans all across this great state. His goal? A bigger, better Texas for all. It is my privilege and honor to introduce him today. Ladies and gentlemen, the 48th governor of the great state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott.
Thank you very much for that.
Yes,
thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Keep up the good work. Well, thank you everybody here for that very warm welcome, and I want to thank Commissioner Treviño for your very kind introduction, but most importantly, thank you for your service at the Texas Workforce Commission. And I want to thank everybody for being here. As I will elaborate during my remarks today, small business is pivotal to our state, pivotal to our future. And know this, I may repeat this several times during my remarks today. There is a mathematical formula that makes Texas the #1 state for business. And that is that we genuinely reach out and try to partner with our businesses, knowing that when you succeed, the state succeeds. So we constantly work, whether it be through the Workforce Commission, through our multiple state agencies, or through Adriana Cruz and the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Division of the Governor's Office. We work for ways to try to partner with you, elevate you, help you succeed. We know that's what's in your heart. We know that's what you want to achieve. And we have parallel goals, and that's your success. And this is one of the pathways to get that done. Along those lines, we're in a particularly unique location today. I'm going to tell you what you know, but just elaborate on it a little bit. This is maybe the most important strategic economic location in all of North America. Y'all know what's been going on with regard to international trade. You know what's been going on going back to the year 2000 and since then about the United States and other countries outsourcing things like manufacturing, production, all kinds of things, especially to China. Those days are over. They're either altogether eliminated or dramatically reduced. And that's why we are seeing globally a reshoring, a what's called friendshoring to countries that are more collaboratively and more supportive of the United States. And hence, part of that is going from China to India. A large part of it is going from China or other countries to Mexico, right across the street. And if you could geographically choose to be located anywhere you wanted to be located, knowing that you were on the precipice of growing your business even more, this would be the place. The amount of business that's going to be taking place, not just in Juarez, but through the multiple geographic regions of Mexico, it's going to increase a lot. And what you have in front of you is an extraordinary, burgeoning opportunity that all you have to do is to tap into it, knowing that whatever type of business you run, you're going to be able to increase your business. Or, from a different direction, I assume that there are with us here today some economic development professionals. I assume we have the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, for example. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your leadership. But organizations like that, you have the vision, you have the personnel, you have the strategies to be able to reach out, to collaborate, and to foster the relationships as well as to promote the growth and connect the business connections between the businesses here in El Paso with those either in other parts of the state or in other parts of Mexico. And so you are really sitting on, I'll start to say a pot of gold. That may be an overstatement. You're sitting on an economic opportunity, unlike maybe none other that's taken place this century for El Paso. And that's just one element of it. There are other elements that I know even more about. I talk to CEOs every single day. And I can tell you that there are CEOs from around the entire country, some from foreign countries, that their number one choice of a place to go to either start a location there or to expand a location there is the state of Texas. And what I've seen increasingly is an increased interest in El Paso because of the unique attributes and workforce and things like that you provide that are good quality infrastructure for the businesses that are seeking to come to our state and tap into the formula that we have that supports all businesses that operate in our state to be able to succeed. And so I applaud you for where you are and look forward to where you're going. I've seen firsthand from some experiences that I've had here, kind of the genuine approach that the community of El Paso provides when working with businesses. I was there for the Schneider Electric opening, the Spectrum call center opening, the Microsoft Tech Spark event, many Borderplex Alliance roundtables, and you can see the way that El Pasoans and especially El Paso small businesses collaborate so effectively well together. It creates what I call an inviting environment that really encourages businesses to come here. I can tell you this also for a fact. In the Governor's Office of Economic Development, we have many projects in our pipeline focused on the El Paso region. As much as you've seen some projects come here, I know that there are many more that are on a glide path to be coming here and providing even more economic opportunity. And know this, and that is that of those that are coming here, they may be in your, let's say, subject business area, or they may not. But the reality is this, the more that businesses come here and grow here, even if it's not within what you do, it provides you economic opportunity. Let me oversimplify this. I feel like you know what I'm talking about, but let's just say that you have Schneider Electric expanding here, or you have some industrial manufacturing facility come here and grow here. But let's say that you are involved in the restaurant business. Well, manufacturing and electric is not your restaurant business, but the more people you have coming here, doing business here, the more demand there is going to be for your restaurant. And the same thing would apply to other types of businesses that you operate. So it's just very promising where you are today and where you are going forward. I do want to go back in and echo and expand upon what Commissioner Treviño said about about it being especially fitting to join y'all here today on or during Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic businesses are the backbone of the greater El Paso economy. That's a key fact that they are a key driver of the Texas economic prowess. Texas is home to 20% of America's Hispanic business owners. And if I can hear from all women, Texas is the #1 state in America for jobs created by Hispanic women-owned businesses. And small businesses in particular are thriving like never before. The small businesses truly are the heartbeat of our Texas economy. We have more than 3 million small businesses across the entire state. About 99% of all businesses in Texas are small, and they are responsible for nearly half of all the jobs created in the state of Texas. And here in El Paso, there are more than 15,000 small businesses, most of them minority owned. In short, you are essential to the Texas economy, and you have made Texas a top state for small business growth, and I wanted to be here and say thank you for all that you are doing for the Texas economy. So on the Texas economy, a couple of metrics. Knowing full well that you all are very responsible for these metrics. Texas ranks #1 in the United States for the most new jobs added. #1 for the most economic development projects for 12 years in a row. The #1 state listed as the best state for business by CEOs for 20 years. The #1 state for the best business climate. #1 state for exports. And this, of course, is an area where that the businesses here in El Paso play a pivotal role. Think about this. For about 21 years, of all the 50 states in America, Texas has been ranked #1 for exports. Think of the port of El Paso and the trade that you have just across there. But I know it's larger than that. Without you and the businesses in this region doing what you're doing, I'm not sure where Texas would be ranked in exports. So I applaud what you're doing in that regard in helping our economy grow. Because of the way you've helped our economy grow, I'm going to tie in and expand upon what Commissioner Treviño said. Our annual gross domestic product now exceeds well over $2 trillion. And because it's grown so much and so rapidly, there are only 7 countries in the world with an economy larger than Texas. We've got the United States, obviously, China, India, Japan, the United Kingdom, Germany, and France. If you have observed what's going on in France this year, which is kind of chaos and it's not very productive, and if you've seen what's going on in Texas this year, which is another year of a very robust economy, I believe that this time next year, Texas will surpass France, and Texas will have the 7th largest economy in the entire world. There are some byproducts of our strong economy that should mean a lot to everybody in this room. One byproduct that we had this last session is because of you, the business leaders, doing what you do and succeeding so well, Texas had an all-time record budget surplus. And we took that budget surplus and turned it into the largest property tax cut ever in the history of Texas, an $18 billion property tax cut, returning that money back to the people who deserve it, helping you take that money and hopefully put it right back into your business and grow your business even more. Also, for those who qualify, we doubled the franchise tax exemption, saving many small businesses from even filing for franchise taxes in Texas. And the good news just continues. Our economy has not slacked off since the last session. It's continued to grow. Because of that, as we enter this next session beginning in January, we are already going to have another budget surplus of more than $20 billion. We'll take some of that $20 billion and invest it in our schools to make our schools better and pay our teachers more. We'll take part of that money and invest it in our communities, making sure that our communities are safer. But we'll take a large percentage of that budget surplus and once again return it to you with another large property tax cut. That's your money, and you deserve to get it back. There are other strategies that we will be working on that will hopefully help you achieve some of your goals or maybe even address some of your needs. We all know that there's been a rising cost of doing business, a rising cost of just living, and we want to cut into that cost. One of the most effective ways that we can do it, at least by what CEOs tell me, and that's to cut through the red tape. There's a phrase that's called the cost of doing business. And part of the cost of doing business is all the regulatory red tape that slows down your business costs you more money. I'm going to give you one example. I realize this example is a prolific example, but as I give you this example, I want you to know that what we did in this one example, we offer for every business across the state, no matter how big or small you are. The example is back in April of 2020, Elon Musk gave me a phone call and said that he wanted to build a gigafactory in the state of Texas. And he needed to get it built from the point of grading the dirt to building the more than mile-long factory, which is actually larger than the Pentagon, and then actually having the intricacies of a gigafactory built inside it and having vehicles roll off of it in less than 18 months. I'm not sure if anybody here has built a house, but building a house is tough to do in 18 months. I know it is in Austin, Texas, but we worked with him on cutting through that red tape. And what we found is that there are plentiful ways in which we can cut through red tape that will accelerate the construction process, accelerate the concept of being able to get your business online so you can start earning revenue for your business even faster. And we were able to deliver that to him, getting it done actually faster than in 18 months. At a time before he bought Twitter, he posted on Twitter that in Texas he was able to build a gigafactory in less than 18 months, whereas in California, which is where he had come from, he would not even have his permits finished yet at that time. Because he liked so much the way that Texas works to accelerate the speed of business, which, by the way, our motto is that in Texas, we move at the speed of business. And because we lived up to that standard, he then brought his headquarters for Tesla to Texas, then headquarters for his other companies. You got Tesla, you got SpaceX, you got the Boring Company, you have formerly Twitter, now X. I mean, there is a cheap joke, and that is that all of us X's live in Texas now. But the same thing is true for these other businesses that we see coming here by leaps and bounds every single year. But let's bring this back to you. Y'all probably have red tape issues yourselves. It could be the permitting process at different government levels. Let us know about that. We can do everything except one thing. We cannot read minds. We don't know what's on your mind. But if you let us know what's on your mind, if you let us know what your need is, our goal is to be able to address that need so we can be more quickly responsive to you, so you are going to be able to more quickly be able to accelerate your business project and help you succeed and generate revenue even more and faster than ever before. That's a success for you. It is also a success for Texas, which is why we do it. Another thing that we are keenly focused on, and that is training for a better high-skilled workforce in our state. We have great universities. You have UTEP and other universities here, and listen, the state is filled. Actually, Texas actually now has more Tier 1 research universities than any other state. But let's be honest, a four-year college degree is not right for everybody. Even going to college at all may not be right for everybody. So beginning at a high school level, but especially there and after the high school level, we want to make sure that we're providing students with career and technical skills so that they can go directly into a high-demand, good-paying job after they finish their school. This is we call it better jobs, bigger paychecks. Let me give you an example of how this has operated to completely change somebody's life. There was an African-American woman in the Houston area who went through a job skills training program. And I met her 4 years after she went through that program. And she had done that and developed the skills and began to work her way up. And she explained to me where she had come from and where she had gotten to. 4 years before I met her, she was actually homeless. And she explained to me that as of when we had met, she had just recently bought a home. And I asked her, how much are you making? And she told me. So I said, I kind of recapped it. So you came here and you went through that job skill training program and you worked your way up and now you own your own home. And now you're making more than the governor of Texas. And that is the brand of opportunity we want to provide for everybody. A four-year college degree may be perfect for you or perfect for somebody else. But we know for a fact that with the job skill training programs that we offer in the state of Texas, whether it be to high school students or post-high school students, I'm even going to be announcing soon a high-skill job training program for adults who are in a second or third career, because it can lead them to a better job and a bigger paycheck. This is going to be transformative for the state of Texas, what we are working to achieve. Speaking of transformative, let me close just by helping you see the future a little bit. We are preparing Texas for the next generation of job growth. Already, everybody in this room, you work with semiconductors every day. Many people have a phone in your hand just filled with semiconductor chips. You probably have a refrigerator at home that may operate on semiconductors. Your car definitely does. Almost every function that you undertake in a day has semiconductor chips. And as much as that is true today, it's going to be far more true next year and next decade. Texas needs to be at the center of that. The good news, we already are. Texas ranks number one, and we have ranked number one for 10 years for semiconductor manufacturing and semiconductor exports. That's before the massive new Samsung semiconductor facility in Taylor, Texas, which is a $44 billion facility. And before comes online the Texas Instruments facility in Sherman, Texas. But what Texas is doing to accelerate that process even more to make sure that we remain the number one state in America for semiconductor. In fact, one of the global leaders for semiconductors is this past session I signed the Texas CHIPS Act. Many of you may be familiar that the United States passed a CHIPS Act, but Texas passed our own CHIPS Act, where we are working with our universities, including UTEP, working with businesses, working with anybody who wants to be a part of this process to provide education, training, research and development, as well as manufacturing capabilities. Where Texas is providing our own funding to keep Texas in the lead of this process, knowing how pivotal semiconductors are going to be to the lives of everybody. There are two races taking place globally. And the winners of these races will be the winners of who's going to be the superpower of the future. Semiconductors is one. Semiconductors are core to artificial intelligence. You can't have artificial intelligence without semiconductors. Artificial intelligence will be a huge driver if you're in a large business or small business, you're going to be actively applying AI in your business, if not already, definitely here in the coming years. To do that requires more semiconductor chips. Texas wants to be at ground zero for that process. The other thing that's going to transform the entire world, and that's the race to expand in and to monetize what's going on in space. Once again, Texas already leads the way. Let's go back to the beginning of space exploration. We had NASA in Houston. The first words spoken for the moon were Houston. And so we've been a part of that from the beginning, but think of the explosion that we've had in space exploration since then on the private sector side when you look at what SpaceX is doing, and there are so many other space exploration businesses in Texas, far more than in other states right now. There will be a lot of businesses that are suppliers of components and products for those space exploration businesses that could be located anywhere in the state of Texas. These are going to be incredible economic opportunities, game-changing opportunities that will not only change the way in which we live in the world, but will change the economic opportunities that businesses just like yours will have the ability to tap into. Bottom line is this, and that is that Texas truly is the economic engine of the United States of America. Small businesses in El Paso are a key driver of that engine that we have economically in the state of Texas. As governor of this state, I cannot be more grateful than I am for everybody here, those present physically here, but those who operate and do business here in El Paso, for everything that you're doing to drive your economy, to create jobs, and to do your part to keep Texas the economic miracle. Our commitment is to continue to live up to the standard, to be a state where entrepreneurs can cast a vision and know that they live and work in a state where they will have the ability to achieve that vision. And we will work with you side by side to ensure that you are able to achieve your vision. Thank you all. God bless you all. And God bless the great state of Texas.